Hello YouTube, we are back with another redstone not really redstone, it's another modded Minecraft tutorial, and in today's video we are looking at the inscriber and how we can automate it with the Steve's Factory Manager. So, I've basically just got all of the inscribers that we need here, and here's all of the presses are in there as well, so logic and also silicon, and then basically the end one is going to be for combining them both, or combining all the materials together. And so let's just take a look at how, let's just make it work and see it go. And as you can see, it's going pretty well already. And let's see, there we go. There's the first one going, and there we go. Yeah, another one. And then wait for the gold one to go in, and there you go. And that's basically it going and running, and it's pretty sweet, because then, I mean, you don't really need to automate anything else yet, because like it's like a really hard thing to automate without the Steve's Factory Manager, because basically whatever goes into the top side goes into the top slot, and then whatever goes into the side goes into the middle slot, and then whatever goes into the bottom, it's pretty much goes into the bottom slot. So that's like a really tricky bit to like sort of go through and automate, but I've done it with the Steve's Factory Manager, which is extremely easy to do because you can specify what side to put the items in, which is awesome. And as you can see, that is a lot of code or programming, but basically what I've just done there is what this first sort of thing does, or what this first sort of programming block does, is basically just takes out the diamond, the gold, and the redstone, and also the silicon, and also the pure Certus quartz, and then puts them in the appropriate inscribers to sort of like get inscribed. And for the redstone, it's basically just going to be right there. And so that's basically that bit there. And the second bit right here will basically check if there's already a, or it will basically just put the, like the last, like sort of the outputs of these four inscribers there, and then put them into the inscriber over here, which will be just combining the materials into the processors, which is a pretty cool thing to have done. But yeah, so it's a bit tricky, because if two of the like, say if the calculation processor, or the printed calculation thingy majiggy, and then also the logic one were finished at the same time, then both of them would try to like fit into the top slot, and if like once they both got pushed into the inscriber here, for some reason like one goes into the top and then one goes into the bottom, which is pretty weird, and I'm not sure why. So what I've basically just done is made a condition where it will check if there's a silicon, or like a printed silicon, in the bottom slot, and if there is, then it will try to put the printed version of like the calculation processor thing in the top slot. And because there's already redstone getting into the middle slot there, it will basically just work and inscribe. And then the last bit is extremely easy. It's basically just getting the input from this inscriber here, and just putting it back in the chest. So that's the last bit is really easy. It's like extremely easy. But I'll just show you guys how to actually make it, because I've actually got this like sort of hooked up to my Applied Energistics auto crafting system, where basically I've got it's basically got a chest here, and then it's basically just doing the same thing, but it will actually put the printed version of the processors back into the AE system, which I don't really know why I'm doing that, but I mean, it's just doing it. But what you want to do is you want to get your 5 inscribers like that. And the way I've done it is it's kind of easier to sort of do, because I've basically just gotten the engineering press right there. So in order from like the most expensive to the least expensive, which will be the silicon and then the redstone. So then I'll do the calculation press, and then the logic press, and then the silicon press. So that's pretty much the order that I am doing it in. Now you guys can like pretty much do whatever you like, but just remember like how it actually works and how it goes, because if you don't, then it's gonna not work. So then what you want to do is you want to have your machine inventory manager right here, and then your chest, or your input really, and also your output. You can have you can specify whatever like output you like for the last bit here, because this is just going to be going into the chest, but you can specify like whatever you want, maybe even like an ME interface or something, like just to put it back into the AE system. So that will be pretty cool. But I've basically just got a chest, and then it's pretty easy to just do there. So now into the programming part. So if you guys already know how it works and have a good understanding of the season inventory manager thing, then yeah, you guys can sort of guess how I did it, and it's pretty easy to do actually. But once you know how it works, it's pretty easy. But what you want to do is you want to create a trigger, just a standard trigger. You don't need to modify anything of it or in it. And then what you want to do is you want to get your input to be basically your place where you want to put all your ingredients to be turned into the processes. So like the Certus quartz, or the pure Certus quartz, so gold, diamond, redstone, and silicon. And then what you want to do is you want to put a blacklist, and then the inventories will be your chest, or pretty much your input basically. And then target pretty much any side, because it's a chest. And then you want to hook them up like that. And then what you want to do is you want to create a flow control, and then get the connections to be a split of 5 outputs, and not 2, 5. And then you want to hook that up to the input like so. And then what you want to do is you want to create 5 outputs, and then like that. I think it's 5. I think I clicked 5 times. But what you want to do now is you basically just want to make it so that it'll basically just be. I'm basically just doing it sort of like a neat and tidy way of programming it, just easy to read and stuff like that. But you guys can basically go ham and do whatever you like. But I might move this whole thing over here just to fit the final output in. So just like that. And I'll probably just shuffle these along like that. And then I'll fix them later on. But then what you want to do is you want to get your outputs, and then I'm a bit tidy and neat, and I like to have them 1 pixel apart, just like that, just so it looks pretty fun. It looks pretty awesome like that. And I've actually softened that up, but whatever. I'm not going to do anything about it, so just like that. All right. So let's just put or connect that output to this input right there. So just so you guys can see, just like that. And then connect pretty much all the outputs of the flow control into the outputs of the actual outputs, or the inputs of the outputs. That's kind of weird to say, but yeah, it kind of makes sense. So, or hopefully it makes sense. So what you want to do is to basically start from I like to start from the right, from the left, and then go to the right, because I've got the inscribers over there from the right, or from the left to the right. I like to do the sort of diamond first, and then the pure Certus, then the gold, silicon, then redstone. So that's pretty easy to sort of, it basically just makes it a lot easier to read, and just so you know if you've done anything wrong, you know where to look and what to look at and look for. So then what you want to do is you want to get your inventories here, select the first inscriber of whatever inscriber you have as the engineering press. So it's, yeah, just this is basically just going to be this one for me, because it's basically the closest one. Then this is the second closest one, which will be the pure Certus course, and then that will be the third, which is the gold one, then the silicon, and the redstone. So that's pretty easy to memorize and know where to go and where to put things. And then what I've done is basically don't activate the top slot. You want to activate whatever, it doesn't actually matter what side you activate. I'm just going to activate the north one. You can actually activate pretty much south, east, or west, or north, so it doesn't actually matter. And then what you want to do is you want to whitelist your diamonds for this one. So just look up diamonds in the actual search bar here, and make it whitelist, and then you're pretty much done there. And you basically just want to repeat this for each of the inscribers, and do the side there, and then get your ingredient here. And then, because this is going to be the pure Certus quartz one, I'm going to specify the pure Certus quartz crystal. So just like that. And then for the gold, pretty much the same old. You guys probably can skip ahead if you don't want to see this, because it's a little repetitive, because it's, I mean, like, there's 5 of it. But yeah, it's basically just going to be the same thing over and over, repeated 5 times, but with like minor changes, because like I'm doing a new one and also specifying a different thing. So this is going to be the silicon one, and then the next one will be the redstone, and then that's going to be basically the end of that. So let's just get into that. Activate north, whitelist, and then redstone. Let's just grab that. Alright, cool. So that's basically, it's basically going to function to put the items into the inscribers. So if we actually just test that right now, let's just grab ourselves like a diamond from here, gold, redstone, wherever it is, there it is, and then get ourselves the pure Certus quartz, and then also the silicon, and then there it is. Alright. So basically what will happen here is it will just take all the items out and then put them in the appropriate inscribers, and then it will actually go just like that. And that's basically that functioning, or that bit functioning, and as you can see, it's got all the circuits and the redstones in there. So now on to the second part of this process. So what you want to do here is you want to create another trigger and then put it right below the first one right here, and then you want to create an input, or like a flow control, which will be basically just a split into 2 outputs, and then you want to create 2 inputs, and then a condition, and 2 outputs. So let's just grab the flow there, and then get your first input, and then you want to hook that up to the flow control and the trigger to the flow like that, and then create your second input, and then put that like right there or something, I don't know, and then get the we're not going to specify anything just yet because I want to create the whole circuit first. And then what you want to do is you want to put the output of the second input right here into the input of the condition right there, and then on the true slot, or the true sort of output, you want to get an output to that, and then just hook it up like that. And then for the other one right here, you just want to create a normal output, and the rain is raining. So let's just do the weather clear 1 million, just like that. Alright, cool. So basically what you want to do is you want to create an input for this one right here, and the input is actually going to be your 4th inscriber, which will be the silicon one. And then what you want to do is probably just move it up so you can actually see what I'm doing. And then what you want to do is you want to get to the north face of it and activate it, or basically any side face. And then what you want to do is you want to whitelist the printed circuit, or the printed silicon. And I'm not sure if this is necessary, because it might only be like an output unless, like, if it's actually done. But I don't know if it's like necessary, so just do it in case. But if you know it's not necessary, then go ahead. You don't need to specify anything. But I'm just doing that just to sort of be safe, really. And then the output for that one is going to be the inscriber here, so your 5th one, and then target the where is it? The down face. No, not the up face. The down face. There we go. And then white or blacklist anything, because we've already whitelisted the printed silicon in the input. So that's basically going to be fine like that. So then for the second sort of input line, you want to basically choose all of the printed, all of the other printed things. So the printed logic circuit, and then printed calculation circuit, then the printed engineering circuit, where basically you put all the pure Certus quartz and the gold and the diamonds in. So you want to select all 3 of them, and then target your side face, and then whitelist. You're gonna do all your printed versions of the circuits or the processors. So you want to do the basically just like that. And again, this might not be necessary, but I'm just doing it just in case. And actually, I forgot something for this. You want to actually specify an amount of 1, just like that. So just like that. So then that's basically it for that one right there. And then the condition, you want to check in the 5th inscriber, or where you are going to be combining the processors, in the north face, or not the north one, actually, the down one, if there's a printed silicon in it. And if there is, then it will actually go ahead and dump dump one of the printed circuits like that. So, and like I specify an amount here as well. I'm not sure. I doubt it's necessary, but just in case, you might want to do it. Just yeah, just to be safe, I guess. But then for the output here, you want to basically specify the inscriber, the 5th inscriber again, and then you want to put the up face, and then the items are gonna be blacklisted, just like that. And then that should be working. And that failed, but I mean, we were sort of modifying the code already, and so yeah, that shouldn't work anyways. And yeah, these guys are already they're like not getting pushed out or anything, because there's no silicon, or there's no printed silicon in there. And then basically what you want to do now is you want to create a trigger, or another trigger, and then a input and output, which will basically just be which will basically be putting the finished processes back into your output chest. So you want to put the output as the chest like that, and then target up, and then blacklist everything, and then hook that up into the input right there, and then the input will be the inscriber, or the 5th inscriber right there, which is where everything will be getting combined, and then the north, and then the whitelist will be processors. Again, this might not be necessary, but I'm just doing it in case. So you might want to just do it in case anyways. And basically that's pretty much everything that's going to be getting outputted by the 5th inscriber. So that's all good. And then you can hook it up to the trigger. And then we should be done. So let's just test it. So let's get ourselves a pure Certus quartz crystal. And then get the silicon as well. So then we've got that. And then get the gold and the diamond. And actually we might need we will probably get some more of the silicon because we're not going to be getting only 1. So let's just get 3 and then the 3 of the redstone because we're going to be doing all 3 processes. So let's just test it, see how it works, or see if it works. So it's going all right. It's going all right, and there we go. It's doing stuff. Oh, I love this. And there's our first engineering processor, and the redstone's still in there, and then the calculation, and then the logic. Wait for it. Ta-da! Yay! But yeah, this is awesome, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this automation of the processes with the inscribers in Applied Energistics 2. This is actually a pretty big build, just in the size of the actual programming that had to go into it. But I mean, once you've got to this stage, this is totally worth it. Like, because you can basically just dump everything that you have to do in there. Because in the inscribers here, they can only hold like 1 item at a time, so you basically just have to be constantly shift-clicking everything into there. And you can't even do like 2 at a time, because I mean, only 1 goes in at a time. So I mean, you would have to be like pretty much hardcore like monitoring it to actually get anywhere. But with this, it's really cheap because I mean, it's basically just using the Steve's inventory manager, and you don't have to do like any special stuff with Applied Energistics or like the transfer nodes from the extra utilities, and so it's pretty easy and pretty fun. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and peace!